Hey, what's up, Burgundy and Gold Nation? And a matchup the experts are already calling the Draft Bowl, where nobody is giving us a shot. This is urgent. This is right now. And if you bounce before the end, you'll regret it all week. Let's go! News 1. RG3 warns about Jaden Daniels. Let me be real with y'all. When RG3 talks about protecting a quarterback from himself, he knows what he's saying. And what he just said about Jaden Daniels has been stuck in my head all week. Robert Griffin III went on Bleacher Report and didn't hold back. He said Jaden shouldn't take another snap this season. Out of the playoffs. And our franchise QB has had 3 or 4 different injuries this season. That elbow dislocation in Seattle? Brutal. I was watching that game. And when I saw his arm, man, I thought his career was over right there. 78 yards on 20 attempts. 0 touchdowns. 1 pick and another hit that knocks him out. Feels like the universe is sending a loud message. ARC3 said something that hit hard. The team needs to protect him from himself. And here's the thing, Jaden's got that warrior mindset, that I'll play hurt. I'll play no matter what attitude. But sometimes being brave turns into being reckless. Griffin knows exactly what he's talking about. Straight up dynamite with his legs and arm. Then came that playoff game against Seattle, the same team that hurt Jaden, and RD frittied his knee. LCL, ACL, meniscus, everything. And he was never the same again. So I ask you, are we really about to make the same mistake twice? Are we going to let history repeat itself just to compete in games that mean nothing for our future? Look at the cold facts. 2 against Philly, fighting for the top seed. 1 against Dallas, who always brings it against us. And 1 against the Giants, who are desperate too. Why risk Jaden in any of that? We've got Marcus Mariota, who's shown he can run the offense. Yeah, 6 turnovers in 6 games. But you know what? That's perfect for evaluating the rest of the roster without risking our future. R3 also said something real about comparisons. He's not me. His situation is totally different. And that's true. But injuries don't care. The human body has limits. And when you've had 3 or 4 injuries in one season, your body's screaming enough. I think Adam Peters and Dan Quinn have a critical decision to make. And it's not easy, because Jaden's going to want to play. He'll say he's good. He'll say he can help. But sometimes, the best way to help the team is to think long term. Or risk him in 4 meaningless games and maybe ruin his career? I know my answer. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. Jaden looks rusty since coming back. But forcing him to play before he's fully ready mentally and physically is a disaster waiting to happen. Look at what happened against Minnesota. 20 pass attempts. 78 yards? That's less than 4 yards per attempt. For a QB who was averaging almost 8 before the injury. The numbers don't lie. His body isn't responding. ARC3 ended with some advice for Jaden. Don't let outside noise affect how you lead, what you do, and how you play. And I'll add this. Don't let your pride as a competitor put your future at risk. There's a difference between being a warrior and being reckless. The organization has to step in. I know Dan Quinn is a best players play type of coach, but sometimes the coach has to protect the player from himself. That's leadership. That's thinking about the future of the franchise. So I'm asking you, do you agree with RG3? News 2, 5 vets fighting for their future. Chris Paul Commanders offensive. If that's got you thinking, wait till you hear this. While everyone's focused on Jaden, there are 5 vets fighting for their future in Burgundy and gold over these last 4 games. And trust me, what happens with these guys will shape our 2026 roster. Let's start with Chris Paul at left guard. 86, only behind Laramie Tunsil and All-Pro. And guess how many sacks Paul gave up that game? 0. Pressures? 0. Let me ask you, how many guards in the NFL can say they played a full game without giving up a single pressure? Those numbers don't lie. Chris Paul has earned the right to be the starting guard in 2026. Chris Rodriguez Jr., Commanders running back. Now let's talk about Chris Rodriguez Jr. in the backfield. After we traded Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler tore his Achilles, someone had to step up, and Chris Rod did just that. Check these stats. Touchdowns in Week 7, 9, 10, and 13. Yeah, we're rotating him with Jakery Krosky-Merritt and Jeremy McNichols. But who's been the most consistent? Chris Rodriguez. He's had multiple games with over 10 carries. He's become a reliable red zone threat. I think if he finishes strong these last 4 games, he locks in that RB2 spot next year. And with the money we're saving without Eckler, we can invest elsewhere. When Adam Peters made that trade, we all said, this is what we need next to Terry McLaurin. And man, Debo has delivered. 62 catches, 561 yards, 5 touchdowns. And that's while dealing with a heel issue that kept him out a full game. And while our offense has been a straight-up mess, think about it. Debo's putting up these numbers in an offense that can't score. Imagine what he can do with a healthy Jaden and a real scheme. I'm telling you, Debo Samuel is crucial to our future. His versatility as a receiver and runner adds a layer nobody else on our roster brings. Quan Martin, Commander safety. Now, not all news is good. Quan Martin at safety has been up and down. As a safety in the NFL, you've got to be dependable. You're the last line of defense. And this year, Quan's had too many lapses. These last 4 games are huge for him. He's got to show he can be consistent, that he can cover, that he can tackle in space. If not, Adam Peters is going to be looking for an upgrade in free agency or the draft. Darren Payne, Commanders defensive tackle. And finally, Darren Payne at defensive tackle. Despite all our defensive struggles, Payne is still a force inside. 2 sacks, 15 solo tackles. Still collapsing pockets, stopping the run, creating pressure. Yeah, the early season suspension didn't help. But Payne is still a key part of our defense. His ability to eat double teams and free up our linebackers is huge. I think if Payne finishes strong, he's definitely part of our future plans. But he's got to stay available and stay out of trouble. So here's the truth. These 5 guys are under the microscope. Every snap matters. Every play counts. Because when Adam Peters sits down to build the 2026 roster, he's going to remember who gave it their all and who checked out when the season went south. So I'm asking you, which of these 5 do you think stays? Which one's out? Because the decisions made on these players will have a massive impact on how we compete next year. Washington versus New York. 3-10 versus 3-10. And every NFL.com expert has us dead in the water. Out of 5 editors, only 1 picked us to win. 1. And maybe they're right, but let me tell you why this game matters more than you think. First, draft implications. The Giants have the number 3 pick. We've got number 6. If we lose, we move into the top 5. That means access to elite talent that could change our franchise. The Giants are coming off a bye. They're at home. And Jackson Dart has shown flashes. Just 2 turnovers in his last 6 games, compared to Mariota's 6 in the same stretch. The numbers favor New York. But here's what the experts aren't factoring in. Pride. This is a division rivalry. Records don't matter. These games are always tight. And I think both Debo and Terry are hungry to prove something. But let's be real, our defense has to show up. Jackson Dart might be a rookie, but he's shown he can move the ball. If we win, we snap the 8-game skid and give the team some positive momentum heading into the offseason. If we lose, we improve our draft position and get closer to elite talent. We've got Dallas twice, Philly twice. Those are the pride games. This one against the Giants. It's more about roster evaluation and draft position than wins and losses. So I'm asking you, would you rather win this game and fall to pick 8 or 9? Or lose and lock in a top 5? Because I'm telling you, if Adam Peters is making the picks, I trust he'll find talent anywhere. We're tanking without admitting we're tanking. Shutting down Jaden, rotating vets, evaluating young guys. Everything points to this team thinking about 2026, not these last 4 games. We're building something. And sometimes, losing short-term is winning long-term. Look, I know this season's been brutal. 8 straight losses, injuries everywhere, out of the playoffs. RG3 is right about protecting Jaden. Those 5 vets are fighting for their future. And the draft bowl against the Giants has huge implications for our draft spot. So drop a comment. Should we shut Jaden down? Which of those 5 vets do you think stays? Would you rather beat the Giants or lock in a top 5 pick? If you believe in Adam Peters' process and trust we're coming back stronger in 2026, smash that like. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This community is family. We're the most passionate fans in the NFL, and we're riding with this team through it all. Catch you in the next video with more Commanders news. And remember, hail to the Redskins!